Hello, my name is Dulayne, and welcome to my quick combat leveling guide. So, you've installed the game, had your first glimpse of Novia, and now it's time for you to set out and build your toon. So, just to get into the basics, with Shroud of the Avatar, there are no set classes, there are no limits to where your skills can level, and there are endless configurations. With Shroud, there are no traditional leveling schemes, only two things: the production and adventurer levels. So if we go into the C key and hover over my name, you'll be able to see two things: your adventurer level, which is for combat, and your producer level for production. And these are the two disciplines you work on. Now, when it comes to leveling up skills, it works a little bit differently. So you may be wanting to learn how to spend these points you earn and how to get stronger. You may want to become better with a sword. You may want to put out more fire damage. Or you're probably looking for some health, some defense, or just some kind of control over your enemy. So let me help you with that. We'll close this down, and if we press the K key, then you open up this skill screen. So this is called the skills panel, and there are two tabs. You've got adventuring for all your combat stuff, and you've got crafting for all your crafting skills. So as you may be aware from playing different MMOs, you kill, you get experience, you level up. Shroud is a little bit different. So with each skill tree, so in adventurer for instance, and for crafting, you have a pool system. So every time you kill something, experience goes into the pool. So at the moment I've got 3.1 million there for adventurer, and I've got 900,000 for production. Okay, so you kill things, you complete quests, you hand in different barter items, that pool builds up. And then what happens is you use the skills to level up. So if I, for instance, wanted to level up Summoning Blades, then you turn on the skill. But I'll go into more detail in a moment about that. But just be aware there are several different ways you could go about leveling up your toon. So first of all, you could take all of your skills to level 40 and work your way through. So as you can see with Shroud, it goes down, so you reach the requirement to move down to the next tree skill and so forth. So on average, if you were to get these all to 40 in a nutshell, you're looking at an average of 35 to 50k. Now it can be low as 10,000 depending on the skill. The second way you can level up is try to focus on working on one weapon tree, one magic tree. So as you can see, you've got pole arms, you've got bludgeon, which is for maces, axes. You've also got wands and staves that fall into that. You've got bows, ranged weapons, you've got pole arms, you've got blades. So one good tactic is to work on leveling up inside a weapon and pick one of the many magic trees and go through them. The third one you could do is quite interesting, I suppose. If you want to be erratic, you can focus on whatever you want and just do whatever. So you might actually be curious, how do I manage these skills and how do I remain efficient? So there are 4 ways you can set a skill via a toggle at any one time. First of all, you've got training. Whenever that skill is green, you are using the pool to level that up. So if I was to use a sword, that would be leveling up every time I hit, so it would pull experience into the pool. Next one you've got is unlearning. This one will use experience from the skill and put it back into your pool. It will take it away, and you will lose 50% when you do that, so you don't really want to do that. So if you decided, like, I've taken that to 80, I want to bring it back down so I can get some experience back to reinvest it, then you can do that. The next one you've got is not training. So if you are, and I'll go into a bit more detail later, if you aren't able to do the next option I'm going to go into, you can set it to not training. So if you're using swords and you want to level something else up, you can stop it from leveling up. One thing with Shroud is that you're going to be aware of: when you die, you lose experience, and these skills are at risk of losing experience. So the next one you can do when you're high enough in the tree, in the skill, to unlock the next one down, you can set it to maintain. So what will happen is it'll use your pull when you die in the event of your death to keep the skill at level 20. It'll keep it just high enough to be that level. So I would suggest that when you are leveling up and working for your toon, set it to not training in the short term, but once you are able to do maintain, then do so on that one. That's going to be the best way to keep it going. And just a bit further to elaborate, my opinion is to really work in the early days on one weapon tree and some magic. There are other things you can go into, and I'm probably going to do a video talking about the different starter skills you should do. So just keep an eye out for that one. Pick one. So I like polearms. I'm very heavily invested in polearms, and I've got some points spent in fire. That's what I would say. But a bit of a hint, if you are, say, into magic, if you go into bludgeon, ones, I believe staves as well, classified as bludgeons, and some of these have different benefits will help you survive. Let's say you've decided you want to work on fire and you want to work your way down. So this will show you, if I hover over on the next skill down, and let's say we wanted to use fire arrow and we wanted to level that up next, you need to get flame fist to level 20. So just to expand on this a bit further, say for example you have done all you need to do and you've followed what's required to get to unlock Ring of Fire, you'll need to go to what's called an advanced trainer. And again, for cutting a long story short, I'll put that link as well in the description for you, so that'll be all there for you to click. So when you go to them towns, speak with the appropriate person and you can buy them from them. Also, for instance, just as a bit of a bonus, the elementals, which are basically pets you can get on the end of most trees, you can get a quest to do the unlock for that. That's something that you have to do. One other thing is that every tree has what's called a specialization. So for sake of argument, my polearm is level 60, my polearm specialization. This specialization will make that skill tree a lot more effective. So it might make you stronger at using polearms. If I go into heavy armor training, it will help me become better at being able to defend myself with wearing heavy armor. If I go into fire, I'll be a more badass fire wielder and all that stuff. And yeah, so that's something that you will also be able to do. One thing to remember is that you can only have one active and one maintain. One specialization can only happen and be active at once. So for instance, if you level up life and specialize in life, you've got this thing where the opposite of it, so life and fire, water and fire, and so on, if you work your way up in one, you'll be less effective in the other. And also the same kind of goes for another thing. So with Shroud, you've got what's called attunement. So as you level up and you become more proficient in it, your attunement goes up. That attunement will help you become more effective and put out more damage. In a nutshell, I'm trying to just keep it to the basics. I'm sure in time I'll have more advanced videos for you guys to learn more about that. So next thing to talk about is strategy. Let's just say you've been playing for a while, you've realised, oh my god, these skills are taking my pull up, I've got way too many skills on and I only want to level up one skill at a time, or I just want to stay calm, stay measured and do so. So what you could do, you can actually do it like this. So what you do, if you've got multiple skills open, so let's say that one was on, that one was on, that one was on, I can actually right click on the icon for the class skill, whichever you want to call it, and I can set it to maintain or not train. So if you want to try, do it as not train all and right click and do maintain. So I would say make them all maintain and make sure that everyone is the same. You'll see that one's got one there, so I can do maintain all, I could do maintain all, and then I could go in and say, okay, so every time I use Fire Fist I want to level it up, so I'll turn that on. So that's how you would do it with just the one skill. Another thing you could do if you wanted to is level up a few skills at once. Now, some people say 3 is the best number to go with, and again, it's all on personal preference, but try and only level up at most 3 at a time. So again, you would do the same again, right click, make sure you've got everything as maintain, if you're able to do so. And you know, sometimes it just pays you just to be extra vigilant and just maintain them all, because you'll see that I've been leveling up a skill that I shouldn't have been, and you can always toggle them if you wish. So we've got them all set to maintain or no train at all. So I can go in, so I could say like, okay, I'm going to turn on Flame Fist because I want to do a bit more flame damage. I really need to work on my defensive position because I want some more resistance from using pole arms, and maybe I want to level up my health a bit more to give myself more health, and then do it like that. So yeah, those are the 2 ways you could pretty much do it. Try and do weapons for a while first and then focus on your fire or your water, or whichever you want to do. So just kind of find a happy medium and you should be all right. One thing you'll find, especially when you're leveling up skills, depending on what the skill is and what level it is, some skills can take a while to level up. So there are a couple of different ways that you can actually speed up your leveling. One of which, if I've got one in my inventory because I'm such an unorganized person, is the Obsidian Potion of Guidance. Now these can be acquired by buying them off other players, or you can get what's called Gold Copper Coin of the Obsidian, or Gold Crane of the Obsidian, sorry. And they are worth about 4,000 gold. They are a currency you can buy off the Shroud store, or you can buy them from other players. So what this will do, it'll allow you to spend up to 300% more experience at any one time. I'm actually using one right now because I'm trying to work on a bunch of different skills. Also, there is an instance that happens once every 28 hours called the Lost Veil. And long story short, there's 3 rooms. You complete the rooms once each. You get this reward. Out of each one, you trade them in with a vendor inside the instance. You go to a doorway and you go through this door and you get a buff. I'll again do a video to cover this at a later date to give you more of an insight. Thank you guys for watching my video on how to use the Shroud of the Avatar skill leveling system and how to have a strategy and a plan with moving forward and becoming the next strongest player in the game. So thank you guys for hitting that like button. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and thanks guys for any feedback you've left me in the comments. That's so cool of you. And also thank you so much if you share this video out to your friends, family, hamsters or anyone else. And thank you so much for subscribing and ringing that bell button to get updates on my new uploads too. So amazing for you to be so helpful. Oh, and yes, I'm on Facebook, Twitter and I run my own blog. I've left you a gift box of links in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys again in the next video. And like I say, just take your time with Shroud, enjoy the game. There's so much to do, and don't worry about making mistakes. You will be fine. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Peace out.